Sairam students, today we are going to learn EVS 2 History, 9th chapter, Settled Life and Urban Civilization Part 1. Before that, let's take a short recap what we had done in our previous session. We had done revision of 8th chapter, beginning of Settled Life. And today we are going to learn use of metals. So students, this is the picture of ancient gold objects found in burial grounds, Bulgaria. So what type of ornaments or objects we can see here? See, those are coins, then rings, bangle, necklace. Okay, so what are those? Those are ancient gold objects found in burial grounds in Bulgaria. Okay. Next point. You may have wondered about the first metal that humans used. Museums in Europe had large collection of prehistoric artifacts and antique objects. So students, museums in Europe had large collection of prehistoric artifacts and antique objects. So you may have wondered about the first metal that humans used. Now the next, a scholar named Christian Thomsen introduced a method for classifying them. It is called the three-age system. So students, the three-age system was being introduced by a scholar named Christian Thomsen. Okay. Thomsen classified the objects into three groups: stone tools, stone age, copper tools and other copper articles, copper age, iron tools and other iron article, iron age. So students, Thomsen classified the objects into three groups. They were first stone tools, means stone age, copper tools and other copper articles, means copper age, iron tools and other iron articles, means iron age. Now the next, Thomsen established with the help of evidence that stone tools were the earliest. The period of copper tools and articles was next. It was followed by the period of iron tools and articles. So students, Thomsen established with the help of evidence that stone tools were the earliest period. Then the next period was the copper tools and articles of copper. And the third period, which was followed by iron tools and articles. Okay, now the next. Accordingly, the three periods were named the Stone Age, Copper Age and Iron Age respectively. This gave rise to the belief that copper was the first metal to come into use. So students, in this way, the three periods were named. First was the Stone Age, second was the Copper Age and the third was Iron Age. Okay. And this gave rise to the belief that copper was the first metal to come into use. Next, actually gold was the first metal to be used. Gold was a soft metal, so it could not be used for making tools and implements. So students, actually if we see, gold was the first metal to be used. But gold was a soft metal and so it could not be used for making tools and implements. Okay. Next point. Human then discovered another metal which could be used for this purposes. That metal was copper. The period when copper came into use is known as the Copper Age. So students, human then discovered another metal after gold, which could be used for making implements and tools. That metal was copper. The period when copper came into use is known as Copper Age. Okay. Now the next point, pots made on the potter's wheel. The Copper Age was the age of many new inventions and rapid changes. The inventions of the wheel is the most important among them. So students, the Copper Age was the age of many new inventions and rapid changes. And the inventions of the wheel is the most important among them. Okay. Next point. It is generally agreed that the wheel was first used by potters. Its use in carts and chariots probably began a little later. So students, the use of wheel in cars and chariot probably began a little later, but it is generally agreed that the wheel was first used by potters. Okay. Now the next point. To make it easy to turn the pot while shaping it, a rotating plank was probably used at first. The pot was shaped with one hand while the other was used to turn the plank. It is possible that the potter's wheel originated in the efforts to modify the rotating plank. Till recent times, tribal women in the northeastern regions of our country shaped the pots by using a rotating plank. So students, you can see a man using a rotating plank, okay, to shape a pot with one hand while the other was used to turn the plank. So you can see here he is using his one hand here and the other hand is used to rotate the plank. Okay. Now the next point, a pointed quartz pebble fixed at the bottom of the potter's wheel. This pebble is known as a pivot. When the potter's wheel is put in motion, it is balanced on this pivot and revolves with a great speed. So students, here you can see in the center, what is there? A pointed quartz pebble fixed at the bottom of the potter's wheel. Now this pebble is known as pivot. Okay. And when the potter's wheel is put into motion, it is balanced on this pivot and revolves with a great speed. Okay. Now the next. A potter in ancient Egypt working on a rotating plank or turntable. So you can see this is a potter and this picture is from ancient Egypt and a potter in ancient Egypt working on a rotating plank or turntable, you can say. Okay. Now the next, we are going to do a small activity. Question first, fill in the blanks. First fill in the blank. Dash introduced a method for classifying prehistoric artifact and antique objects. What will be the answer? Yes, Christian Thomsen introduced a method for classifying prehistoric artifact and antique objects. Now the second fill the blank. The dash was the age of many inventions and rapid changes. And your answer is Copper Age. The Copper Age was the age of many invention and rapid changes. That's all for today. Sai Ram. Thank you.